For the majority of my time on this earth as a guitar player, I have been a 7-stringsman. But what are the origins of my extended range obsession? Let's find out. Hey there kids, and welcome to this week's installment of Weekend Wankshop. Here's your best buddy, Uncle Ben. On today's installment of Weekend Wankshop, we're going to plumb the depths of my 7-string obsession by talking about the 5 riffs that first inspired me to pick up a 7-string guitar in the first place. And as always, you guys can find full tabs for all these riffs over on my Instagram page at BenEllerGuitars. Search for hashtag Weekend Wankshop 214. Find the tabs for this lesson, then upload a video of yourself shredding through them along with the hashtag
Weekend Wankshop.
First of all, let's talk about A Change of Seasons by Dream Theater. Now, of course, John had used a 7-string before this all over the Awake record. Whenever I heard this, I pulled a total Will Smith and said, I've got to get me one of these. This riff isn't too hard to play for a John Petrucci riff. First part here starts off with our open low B and a lot of accent notes across our low E string following the B minor scale. A lot of 7/4 stuff in here. Let's check out the first part. Now first you're going to begin with that open low B, and then on your low E string here play 14-15. Then do that low B, then 12-14. Low B 10-12. Low B 9-10. Okay, so now you have. Then lastly, you're going to hit that low B and your 7th E. So you got this. Next section here ends a little differently. Do the B, then the 14-15, the 12-14, the 10-12, and then you have this little different ending part here. You're going to go B, 9 and 10 on the E, the 8th A, and then the 10th low B for that low A note. Like that. So the whole riff is in 2 sections here. And that's a classic by the Trooch himself. One of the biggest reasons I got a 7-string back in the day is because a lot of my favorite heavy metal bands were playing 6 strings that were tuned down to B or A, and I really liked that sound. But I didn't want to play on a 6-string guitar with big, thick, heavy strings on it. So I figured if I had a 7-string, I could really kind of have my cake and eat it too, and have access to all my familiar 6-string stuff that I learned, as well as having that extra low string for whenever I wanted to play along with some soil work or something. A lot of the low-tuned stuff that I wanted to play on a 7 back then came from Fear Factory. Now this is before Dino started playing 7s or 8s, and he was playing 6-string guitars tuned down to B. And one of my favorites from that era is Replica. Check it out. Now the first section is lined up with the snare drum, and it's just going to feature some single notes being played across that low B string. You're going to start off here playing 2 to 5. Then you're going to play 5 to 7. Next you're going to play 4 to 5, and then 5 to 3. So it's 2 5, 5 to 7, 4 to 5, 5 to 3. Yeah, on the 4th time through, it's going to play through the riff a little bit differently, with basically no pauses here from the 4 to 5 to 5 to 3 part. You'll notice the picking just goes straight through like this. Okay, 4, 5, 3. Before it moves on to the power chord portion of the riff. Now this section follows the same bass notes as what you played before, the 2 to 5, the 5 to 7, and so on. Let's go and do it with a mix of some power chords and some inversions as well. Now first things first, you're just going to play power chords here on the bottom 2 strings from 2 and 4, which is your C sharp, to 5 and 7, which is your E, of course. And then check this out. So notice I played the E a couple more times before I moved up to 7 and 7, right here on the bottom 2 strings. Okay, that's an inversion of a B power chord. Here's another big Dino favorite. This will be an inversion of a low B as well. So you notice here it's kind of like a stretched out power chord. I'm playing 4 on the B, 7 on the E. And then I'm just going to move that first finger up so it's just a regular E power chord here on 5 and 7. Okay, and then you're going to play your 5 and 7 to 3 and 5 on the bottom 2 strings. And that's the entire power chord riff. And again, the very last time through, the ending is different. Just going back to single notes on that 5 and the 3. Be sure to follow the tab very closely. Up next, we're going to be talking about the absolutely punishing outro riff from Meshuggah's Humiliative, which is off of their None EP from 1994, which is the first time the band started using 7 strings on a record. Now keep in mind as you listen to this came out in 1994, and think about how far ahead of its time this sound was. And for those playing the home game, it's tuned down 1/2 step. Again, I'm not saying aliens, but probably aliens. And like I said, I'm tuned down 1/2 step to play this. Now the first repetition of that rhythmic figure is going to be on a 3-note power chord down here on the bottom 3 strings. I've got my 3, 5, and 5. Give that a quick down up and some really heavy palm muting. Don't be palm muting back here at the bridge where it can kind of rumble a little bit. Get like a little bit more over the bridge pickup so it sounds really tight and, you know, genty. So after you do that quick down up swipe, you're going to play the 4th fret on the low E string here 2 times. Then what you're going to do is to move down a 1/2 step here to C sharp. So I'm on 2, 4, and 4. And again, I'm going to do down up here. And then 3 single notes on that 3rd fret low E string. So your first repetition of the pattern changes position. Next, you're going to have a repetition of the whole pattern, only this time just at the 2nd fret. So you're going to be doing your down-up swipe here on the 2, your 2 single strokes on the 3rd E, your down-up, and 3 E's after this. Okay, so now we have our first repetition, our second repetition, and now we're on the 3rd one, which as I said is the short one. So it's going to be our down-up swipe here on 2, and then our 2 3rd fret E's, then our down-up swipes, again on the 2nd fret, and then 2 of those low E's on the 3rd fret. So the 3rd time through is just like that. So you put it together and it should end up something like this. Starts over. Up next, we're going to be talking about a riff from the man himself, my mentor, my inspiration for being a musician, my real dad, Steve Vai. So that is the main riff to The Animal by Steve Vai, which is one of my favorite tunes off of Passion and Warfare. And unbeknownst to sweet little bowl-cutted, homeschooled, younger Ben Eller, who got so inspired by this song that he went out and bought his first 7-string guitar, This isn't actually even a 7-string riff at all. It was only after I got the official like Passion Warfare tab book that I looked at the transcription and noticed that this is actually using a harmonizer set 1/5 down. So whenever he plays this G note, we also hear this low C note. But who cares? This riff is bitchin', and my friend Luke says it reminds him of Rolf from the Muppets playing the piano. So this riff has a big ass swing feel to it, so be sure to keep that in mind as you play this. Don't play it real straight. It's got to swing a little bit here. We're going to start off on the low B string on 1 and 3, then the first E, back to that third low B, okay? Then you're going to do some bends here on that third E. So that was 2 whole step bends. Then the first E to the third low B string again, okay? Then you're going to play the third on the A. Then on the E string here, you're going to play 5, 3, 1, slide into 3. Okay, so now you have this. Then you're going to play the same first part. Then a slightly different ending. So that's that third A, 5, 3, 1 on the E, and then the third fret on the low B. Okay? Takes you through the first half of the riff. Next section of the riff here starts on the third A, walking down that low E string again here, 5, 3, 1. Then on the A string here, you're gonna play that 3 and give it a couple whole step bends. Then an open A. Then the third low E. Okay, so now you have this. Then you're gonna play on the E string here, 1, 3, third A, and then the 1 on the low E string with a whole step bend. That's the hardest part right there. Doing those bends at the first low E is super stiff. Then you're back to the first section and that second ending. And of course, as somebody who is an angry teenager in the late 90s, I would be a real idiot to not include some Korn on my list. So we're going to be talking about the main riff to Gaunt the Life. And honestly, it's not even exactly the riff or anything in this song that made me want a 7. It was those super sick LA Custom Shop Ibanez 7 strings that they were playing in the video. And that was really a big inspiration for me to get a 7 of my own. As always, Korn tunes down 1 whole step. So A, D, G, C, F, A, D tuning for extra impossible girth. Again, tune down 1 whole step. Gonna be starting off here with my open low B string along with the power chord here on the 7th fret E and 9th fret on the A string. Then you're just gonna move that power chord down to 5 and 7 on E. And then this guy right here. So this is like a big old sus2 kind of power chord. On the bottom 3 strings here, I'm playing 6, 8, and 10. Sometimes I see people just play this as a regular power chord, but I swear I can hear that sus up there. Maybe I'm just out of my mind. And then move down to a simple 4, 6, 6 power chord on the bottom strings. Then just repeat that. And then the next time through, it sounds like they just replace all these high, power chords with an open position guy here. So I'm playing O, 2, and 2 on the bottom 3 strings. Just replace that 1 chord, keep everything else the same. So there you go, guys, a little look into the stuff that began me on my quest towards extended range magic. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for new content every single week. Also be sure to let me know in the comments below what riffs drew you to the subterranean crypt of the 7-string guitar. You guys can follow me on Instagram at BenEllerGuitars or over on my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/UncleBenEller. And if you'd like to talk about some one-on-one Skype lessons with me, be sure to drop me an email, BenEllerGuitars@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. Now get away from this computer and go play some guitar. Less clicking, more picking.